Who's your daddy?
My dad.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, see, not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Did you even say one?
I did.
What did you say?
I said Drake.
Amber.
I didn't mean like that type of daddy.
What kind of daddy? Then what kind of daddy?
Like he's like
your father.
Yeah, he's my father.
Why?
Remember they said he has like a daughter?
Oh, you're the 11-year-old daughter.
That's me. that's me.
Oh, snap. And special guest on the podcast today, Amber's dad. Come on in, uncle.
This is my daughter.
He goes by Champagne Poppy.
Oh, okay.
That's wild.
Hello, Uncle Poppy.
Uncle Poppy.
Now, Shimmer, very controversial answer.
My dad.
Your dad is
I chose
your daddy?
Amber's real flow.
Whoa, relax. Don't expose me.
But yeah, I was just like, yeah, it's my dad. My daddy.
My dad.
My dad.
Wait, what is that from?
Daddy.
You're not my dad.
You're not my dad. Yeah. Now, Amber's got a few daddies. You have multiple daddies.
Multiple daddies, yeah.
That's not true.
It is.
It is. Lewis Hamilton.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were
Drake.
talking about the one time on her phone. It said like daddies +4.
Well, you don't know. Those are numbers of Lewis Hamilton.
Oh.
Future.
Future was never one. I need to take that.
you were jealous.
Immediately.
Michael B. Jordan?
Immediately
Michael
back.
B. Jordan.
You can add him.
You were jealous of what's her name? Lori Harvey.
Yeah, Lori Harvey for Lewis Hamilton and Michael B. Jordan. Never for Future. It was never about Future.
Okay. But we've got 3 at least there. And then is your real dad your
Who's
dad
the
or no?
third?
Drake. You just said it.
Oh, but that's my father.
Oh. Father, dad, daddy,
Yeah.
Abu.
Also,
Baba.
if you
Who's
listen
your
to the
Baba?
episode a couple of weeks ago when I said that I would fuck Drake, this is not the right time to bring that up. So
You did this.
that was fuck, marry, kill. It was a different
Sweet
scenario.
home Alabama.
That was fuck, marry, kill,
I mean,
and it was a different
sweet
episode.
home Toronto. All right. Dunkin' Donuts is my dad.
Honestly, I understand it because
Wait,
I do
why?
feel like it owns
Because
you.
it really provides for me. You know what I mean?
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like when I'm down and I need some energy, he
Yeah.
picks me up.
Oh.
He raises me.
Oh.
He shows me the way.
Oh.
Does he beat you too?
Oh, he beats me up. I crash. I crash hard.
Is that your daddy or are you its bitch?
First of all, what's your problem?
Sorry.
No, I'm not talking about this. I'm just talking in general right now. Like, what is your actual problem?
What?
You're calling me a bastard?
No, I'm saying, I'm not saying you're a bitch. I'm saying
That's quite literally what you just asked me.
I'm saying you're Dunkin' Donuts bitch question mark.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I was just
Because-
questioning the dynamic. If you don't feel the same way, that's fine. If you can be over here naming and like assigning me fathers, I can ask a little question.
No, but those are the fathers that you
You chose.
you chose.
No, they were just people that like.
and you're hooking up with them.
I'm hooking
weird.
up with all of them.
Well, you want to be.
No,
You want to be.
who said this? One at a time. My heart can only.
All right, it's getting weird.
It's
people.
getting really
Welcome
weird.
back to Strange Flavors. My name is Frappuccino for us.
My name is the Starbucks Shamir.
No,
Yeah, you said Frappuccino.
I know, but that was because Dunkin'
Starbucks?
Donuts was my dad. You should have said son of, then your dad's name, Shamir. Son, Shamir, SS.
Son Shamir.
My name is
But
Abu
this-
Amber.
all right. What?
Abu Amber.
Abu Amber.
No, Aubrey's daughter, Amber. We've been doing this a long time,
Abu is
Sway. You guys
daddy.
still don't-
That was a good one,
No,
and
no.
I would like for you to give me credit.
I thought the whole like vibe was like you say something and then we
Yeah.
follow that train.
No,
I wasn't
what-
like following my answer.
The vibe was that
I understand your train of thought.
we
Is
go
that what you're
off
thinking
the,
too or no?
I'm last always,
Okay.
so I feel at the vibe. But
the
this
vibe
time
has always been
It
the
was that?
theme. The theme of the question.
Wait,
and
you,
then
you
relate
said
to your answer.
Frappuccino?
Yeah.
That's not even like a top 5 thing in Dunkin'.
That's so
That's
true.
not.
Yeah, that's very Starbucks of you. That's
Name
very-
something from Dunkin' that starts with an F.
Okay.
then stop.
frappe.
Frap. Yeah. I
That's
don't
the
That's
same
Dunkin'
thing.
Donuts.
That's the same thing.
No, I mean that's McDonald's.
Anyways.
But you understand why I was like, oh, I didn't correlate that to Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay,
I
fine.
didn't either.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Why don't you say frothy for us?
Okay. Well, all right.
Why are we hating?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
Literally, I'm the only one that did it right. So
You're the one who created it in your head and then expect us to follow.
you're on the strangest and greatest podcast in the
the planet.
restaurant.
In the Dunkin' Donuts.
Thank you everybody for being here and tuning in. We're excited to be here. We got producer Riley in the building. This is gonna be great.
Make some noise, Riley.
There it is. That was a good woo.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good woo.
Honestly, a really great
I can
one.
tell like he's been to like baseball games with that one.
I can tell that he's sang along to Sweet Caroline with that one.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
There we go. So we've been asking you guys to send in emails, and you guys have delivered. So we'll start off with that. By the way, there's going to be some juicy stuff on the Patreon, so make sure you're subscribed to that. But we want to start with an email. Riley, can you pull up the email, the first one this time? That was originally there. Go back. Yes, that one. Okay, this email, can you zoom in on that? This email says, "Hey guys, is that Amber on the Her Loss cover? Love, Nody."
Nody.
Nody. I feel like
Can we pull up that Her Loss cover real quick?
Yeah, yeah.
also
Her Loss, Drake. Wait, that's the Drake album, right?
Yeah, that's the Drake cover. Okay, share that right
the
there.
last the name of the person is very suspicious considering Frost sent in the last email.
No, can we just compare real quick?
Oh,
Wait, let's see.
okay. We're
Wait,
gonna
This is-
pretend.
this is not
Smile
far
real
off.
quick. Smile real quick.
Like,
Okay, listen.
wait,
Can
smile
we-
like this person?
Well, you don't have to do much. I mean, it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree.
I see it.
Yeah, I see it too.
Wait,
Last
that's
time we
Yeah.
had the
Oh, wow.
last time we had the
You know, Shamir, do you not know that I be doing album covers?
No, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
thought the
that's
other
just
one
my-
was the first one.
last time
P4.
she did the Party Next Door P4 cover. We couldn't see the face.
Yeah.
Oh.
This time we can see the face.
But that's because when it's a no face, no case situation, I have to really play it out through. This one, you know, I just needed to make my eyes look like spiders.
Well, it's you know what this one is much more on point for Nody. Okay, this was a real person that was on the cover.
Yeah.
Did you just remember that?
Can you imagine being asked to? But I think it's an honor in her case, right?
Yeah. Wait, what are you trying to say about this person's on this cover?
Well, the
Were
title
you
is
trying
called.
to be like insulting?
Oh, look, there she is. That's the real one. Can you share that
That's
one?
the real one.
I mean, that's still like that's what she really looks like. And then on the cover, it's like kind of.
What do you think is the artistic like vision for this cover? Like,
Oh.
was he just like, hey, let me just get a girl?
When-
No, it wasn't just a girl. There was a look to it.
When I saw the title, Her Loss,
Yeah.
and then I saw the cover, it was almost like if it was his loss and it was like a nerdy gamer fat dude on the cover.
Yeah.
Like, would you get it?
No.
Like he lost the game.
No, like he doesn't.
This is where we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys understand? No.
I don't know.
It's like I'm too good for this anyways.
What, too good for who's on the cover or what?
Like, look at you.
I don't think that's the vibe for us.
Like imagine.
Okay, wait.
This is good. This is good. Imagine this cover right here. His loss.
I don't think that's the vibe.
It's the vibe. It's the vibe. His
I don't think that's a her loss cover vibe though.
Okay, for the listeners, this
I don't
is a
think
guy.
that she's ugly.
This is a guy with a
This-
Android
yeah.
glasses, school shooter haircut, and a black, maybe like a Hot Topic shirt.
What's that phone though?
That is.
You know? Oh, the
can't-
original iPhone 3G.
Okay, yeah, could be.
It's giving round back.
But
That
yeah,
is
are you-
his loss.
So are you calling the girl ugly?
That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
I think that they were insinuating by making that the title.
Nobody. I don't.
Wait. Hold on. You think she's attractive?
I don't think she's attractive, but she has a look.
What's the look?
It's not an ugly look.
What is the look?
I think it's a unique look.
Yeah. I think they were trying to go for a look. I don't think they were purposely trying to make her look ugly.
Yeah. Because she has like makeup on, her hair's done. She has the little grill thingy. She has like the, I don't know.
Stop.
It's definitely
has
not
makeup
ugly.
on.
It's definitely not ugly. It's definitely more like a rough look. Like,
Is it
like,
you or not?
It is me. Are you saying I'm ugly?
That's what Nodi was saying, I think.
That's what Nodi was saying.
Frost, who the fuck is Nodi? Because you
Ready?
know, no, because this is definitely your email address.
Nodi again. Nodi again, got your ass. Yo, Cacho and Nodi coming. Is this the same girl?
Admit that it was you.
This is.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, but she's
But
cool.
It's a look. It's like
Yeah.
a unique.
I'm not saying that the girl is like fine. Like she has a great look. I think she has
She's
a very
going
unique look.
for
But
looks.
I think on the
she
cover,
execute looks.
on the cover, she had an ugly look.
Frost, this is the type of
It was
person
ugly.
you wish that like you guys had that was willing to like commit to the bit. You know, she's committing to the bit. She can do whatever she puts her mind to.
I agree
Look
with
at
you.
those. Look at those fire. What's it
actually-
called?
Bangs.
No, they're like fire shaped edges.
Okay.
Like she's killing whatever she's doing.
Not again. Not
kill
again. I
him.
got your ass.
Like this is supposed to be what, like a cartel wife look. She killed it.
I like this look, by the way.
Oh,
Okay.
but they can't see it on the podcast.
No, I like the look. Her
That
Instagram's
should be
great.
the album cover.
But
No,
that
but
wouldn't.
that's
But
not
that
gonna
wouldn't have
hit.
gotten like hits. Like I remember when they dropped that cover, it was like, yo, this is crazy.
But no one was like, ew.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Did you guys
about
read the comments?
They're just for us.
comments on where.
The comments were Noti. It was Cacho. Okay, all right, you guys.
Enough.
All right,
Stop.
enough.
Stop trying to
Let's
make
go-
me onto album covers.
Okay, let's go to the real email.
He just wanted to put me as something ugly because he publicly announced that he thought that his mind. Why am I talking?
Now this is a good question. The next email
Let me
says.
shut up.
The next email is
Why-
why does Amber ever talk? Okay, yeah, pull that up. Can you reduce the browser size and then zoom in so we can see it?
Zoom in.
All the way from the right of the there we go, and then zoom in so my blind ass can see it. Okay, Amber, do you want to read this?
Yeah,
This is a
I
real
do.
email.
Okay. Hey
It's
guys.
from anonymous.
Okay,
A real
anonymous.
stranger.
Got it. Okay.
Can
Hey-
you say it's from a stranger just to be on theme?
Okay. This is from a stranger. Hey guys, love the podcast. Been listening for a few months now. I wanted some advice on moving out. I'm 26 and still living with my brown conservative parents. I feel like I need some space and freedom. Their ideal scenario is me getting married and still living with them. We recently got a big house. I want to bring
Can
the
I just say
idea of
it's
moving.
not in all caps? Stop reading it like that.
Yeah,
She's
Frosh.
adding
It's
emphasis.
coming from like a personal place.
She's adding emphasis. You want it to be
In the
sad?
wrong-
Yeah.
place.
Do you want it to be boring?
Okay, look, imagine if I added emphasis at the wrong places. Ready?
Also, why are you talking in the middle of a reading? Shut up.
What if I was like, hey guys,
I'm not
Yeah,
putting it in
I
the wrong.
love the podcast.
I'm not putting
It
it in
adds
the wrong
excitement.
place.
But you see how it's emphasizing in the wrong places?
No,
It
I'm
makes it-
not. I am 26 now, and
literally
I'm still
chill.
living with my brown conservative parents.
Okay, go
That
on.
is the emphasis.
Okay, go on. You're reading it
I
wrong.
feel
Go.
like I need some space and freedom. Their ideal scenario is me getting married and still living with them. We recently got a big house. I want to bring the idea of moving out, but they might lose their shit. Financially, it will be a tough moving out, but I can manage. I'm also saving a lot of money staying with them, but mentally, it's just getting harder. So, should I tough it out and still wait till I get married? Not sure when that will happen, and move out, which would be easier for them to digest and also financially be better, or bite the bullet and do it now for my own sanity. What do you guys think? And what are your situations like? Thanks. Please keep it anon. A mess.
This is interesting because she's saying that as the girl, they want her to be married and still live in their house.
That's because it's brown conservative. So ideally, she'd get married back home. The husband would come from back home and live in the house. No, did
You
I
just
not?
assumed that.
I
She
don't
said
know.
nothing about getting married from back home.
No, but I'm just assuming that that's typically the scenario in which that you would live with your parents. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that could be
Because traditionally, why I said that is traditionally like
she moves out and lives with the guys.
the guys often have the girl move into their household.
Right.
So, what do you guys think about this situation of 26-year-old stranger?
I've actually heard this exact scenario from somebody else, and what they did is they moved out like 10 minutes away. But they needed their space so much that they just got a small apartment, but they still hang out with their family all the time.
Yeah.
They just need to like sleep 10 minutes away. And they didn't get married, and they just like, lived for their own sanity. So that might be a way to do this. I feel like you shouldn't, unless you have someone to get married with, don't force the marriage so you can move out.
Yeah, don't do that.
And then, yeah.
I like the idea of her making a PowerPoint presentation. You make a PowerPoint presentation, you have this family sit down, okay? And then you show the data.
Bro, you think brown
And the
parents are going
outline.
to sit there
That's
and pay
crazy.
attention?
Yeah.
To your you want to bring your little PowerPoint
Zoom
over
meeting.
here?
Maybe your like artistic presentation like that. I made this painting.
No, this is why.
This is how I'm feeling internally. I think I need to move out.
She's probably not a
First of
graphic
all,
artist.
artistic painting. Nobody said anything about a painting. I'm talking about
Like, Dad, you see this gray spot over here? This is how I'm feeling emotionally. This white is where I would feel if I moved out.
Yeah.
I never said anything about artistic.
No, that's probably what
presentation.
you would do to like
Yeah.
intrigue your parents. But like she
I meant
probably
like
sucks
a-
at graphic design. Sorry,
I
anonymous.
didn't say graphic design. I meant like an
You said PowerPoint.
yeah, I meant like an academic.
Brown parents are not going to pay attention to a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Bro, use a template. I'm not
Maybe
talking
if
about the
she
design
shows
of
a
it.
drama that describes her exact scenario.
Yeah, you're on the right
Then they
path.
start crying. Oh wait,
Zee TV presents.
Yeah.
And then it's literally hidden cam footage from their Ring cameras. And every time like they get into an altercation while she's like having to study and do things, it's like slow mo. Now this is a good idea. I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
ZT. Okay, why I say a presentation, an academic style presentation. On a serious note, whether it be a presentation, outline, or something, you have to present a plan. Okay. A lot of times when people think this way, they don't have a plan to follow up. They're just like, I want to move out. I'm stressed. Right? It's like the parents are gonna be like, okay, so like get over it. Like eat some almonds, right?
Yeah.
Have a spoonful of honey.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, listen, this is where I want to be. Give me this many months or like a year or whatever to accomplish my goals, academically, career-wise, whatever it might be. But this is the space I need in order to study and or to do whatever that you're trying to accomplish. And I would really appreciate if you can do this. This is when I'll come home, on weekends or whatever like that. And then like marriage-wise, this is my timeline. If I can accomplish these things, I want to be financially responsible. Yada, 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 right? And from like a conservative standpoint, maybe you can show like, this is my spiritual goals or something. But like talk in their language.
Yeah.
Make it easy for them to understand that like, oh, they're responsible. They can be trusted. They're looking out for the betterment of their future. And they're not trying to separate from us. Maybe it's an insecurity for the parents to be like, oh, I'm going to lose my child. Like once they go away, they're never going to come back.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Or go with the CTV drama.
Interesting.
Amber actually moved out a little bit.
I did move out a little bit. I have like a 2-part solution here.
You moved out from Drake's mansion.
Yeah. And I moved into Lewis Hamilton's immediately.
Car.
The mover just took me directly there. I like will sometimes have girls be like, oh my God, how do you like not care? And how do you do whatever you want to do? Whatever. Like, oh, your parents are so chill. My parents were not born chill. I made them chill. I gave them no option to be chill. Not because I disrespected them, but I kept reminding them of the values that they instilled in me. And that if they truly trusted me and truly trusted the person that they raised, that I would be fine and trusted in doing what I need to do.
Amber
and that I don't
Amber
need to
had
be
the
chill.
mouse hovering over the OnlyFans create account.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm doing it.
You gonna let me move?
You gonna chill out?
Okay, don't threaten your parents. But I would say you
You
gotta
know, Future? I moved to Magic City.
no.
They have a drum line outside.
Yeah. I feel like giving them kind of that room to answer the question themselves, as opposed to feeling like you need to like constantly fight them. Like, okay, if they're asking you like, well, why should we let you out at night? Okay. Why don't you think I should go out at night? What are your concerns with it? Okay, so do you not think that I can handle myself? And even if you don't trust others, do you not feel like I have the tools? Can we set up the tools so that you feel comfortable for me to be out at night? And if you like build that freedom up for yourself and you fail at that, because I'm not going to say like, you know, that's that easy. That also comes with laughing off a lot of shit. As brown parents say so much, like all the time. Like they're
Like
just
traumatic stuff.
like they'll just be like yapping sometimes. Brown parents like to yap, and you have to learn the art of laughing. Okay? Every time my mom or dad
Laughing at them or with them?
no, like
At what they say, like maybe she's like, oh, you
like
don't do
laughing it
anything,
off.
like
not taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Like I used to always get like worked up because my mom would be like, why didn't you do this? And I'm like, did you not see? Like, I just did this. Like, why don't you understand me? And so then now when she's like, why didn't you do this? I'm like, sorry. Like, all right, I'll get to it. Like, sorry, mom, I had to da-da-da. Like, and then, you know, whatever. Like, or if they yell at me for something that like maybe I'm wearing, this is not something that's super age applicable anymore because it's not as relevant. But when I was younger and they would say something about what I'm wearing, I would just kind of laugh about it and be like, why are you looking? And whatever. And like kind of built up that like funny thing. So you can kind of test your boundaries. That was scary as shit at first, trying to tell my dad or my mom, like, why are you looking? When they ask why my shirt is too short, you know? But
It's a weird thing to say to your parents.
I mean, like, it is a weird thing, but also like, what are they going to say back to it? You know, like you just kind of have to test and be like, what's the real problem here? Because sometimes it's the fact that they're still upholding the standards of whatever they brought over from Pakistan the 30 some years ago that they came from back then. And like, you just have to remind them like, hey, my cousin in Pakistan has this freedom. You just have the mindset of it 30 years ago, you know? So find the why, first of all. And if you still feel like you cannot do it, then by all means move out. But I do think that you should go in with a lot of grace, a lot of like, easygoingness and whatever, because once you let that tension go, you have room to build a really friendly relationship with your family, if possible. I'm not saying I know this person's situation from one paragraph, but I do think that it seems like you're not in a scenario where you're consistently unhappy. It's more so that they're conservative. You need space.
Yeah.
And
That's
let
a good
them
point,
know.
though, what you just said, that like in your 20s, if you befriend your parents, everything becomes so much easier.
Yeah.
You show them your maturity. You talk to them like they're your actual friends, and like you do things for them without them asking. You know, when it comes to things around the house, like you act like it's, you know, your responsibility too, instead of you just kind of like living there and eating their food and whatever else. It's like
You cut up a mango for yourself, cut up a slice for your mom too.
there you go.
And hand
Act
it
like
to
a
her.
proper like contributing member of the household and somebody who belongs on the table to have conversations about like plans going forward. If you befriend your parents, especially in your like 20s, it's going to make everything easier.
Yeah. And show them you're responsible. Like, I'm the youngest person in my house. Nobody was ever relying on me for like, what does this little girl think? But it took for one scenario for them to see that I take charge. And my dad, who is the most like controlling person over like details, you know, he like wants to know everything. I just took him on an entire vacation. He didn't ask a single question because he trusts eyes closed that I got it. You know, so show them that you're trustworthy and show them that you're somebody who can show up in the way that they think so. Because I've seen people act really responsible outside of the house, but in front of their families, they act like babies because that's how they feel like they are in that dynamic. If you show them you're not a baby, then, you know, because you can't blame them for thinking you're a baby if you act like a baby in front of them. They don't know you're grown outside the house. Show them you're grown.
Yeah.
So build that relationship, sis.
Yeah. Build that relationship, but I've heard scenarios where it's like
not buildable.
sometimes it's not buildable.
Facts.
But it gets buildable after they move. And then the parents are like, oh, we messed up, you know, or like, oh, sometimes they feel like bad that like you want to move out. And so then they kind of treat you more seriously in that situation. And so then they will like start inviting them back. And then, you know, now the kid is coming back like pretty often and like showing their maturity, and then the parents usually like, what's it called, take them more serious.
Yeah.
So that might be your situation, but definitely don't get married just to move.
Yeah. Trust. If you need an example of why not to get married, go to my TikTok. I have a story time.
Go to Patreon.
Go to Patreon.
Go to Patreon.
We talk in detail about this.
We did talk in sorry. Go to the Patreon if you want to hear the story, but do not use marriage as an escape.
Yeah. Last thing is that you asked what's our situation. I will say, alhamdulillah, the three of us are pretty lucky in that like we have great relationships with our parents, family, and so we're understanding of people who don't have it like this, and it's not as easy as just like, oh, just be friends or do this or that. Some people are like in a very toxic family, and so yeah, like Shamir was saying, sometimes it's important to just kind of like do what you think is best, but be responsible in the process, and then your parents eventually will like understand, take you back, like your family at the end of the day. And even when sometimes people decide to go off and make really like tough decisions, you know, their family always will be accepting later on. So do what you need to do. I think you kind of know it, but do it in a responsible way. Like, don't, you know, just do things just to be like, oh, I need to shut up, mom. Like, get out of the house.
Don't do it out of spite.
Right. Good question. Thank you for sending that in. If anybody else has questions, advice, just send it in to our email, strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
This was a pretty exciting weekend for us. Very jam-packed. We finally did the Savage Race.
Yeah. If you guys didn't listen, a bunch of episodes ago, Sydney came on, Ross's friend, and she invited us on the podcast to do the Savage Race.
And we agreed on the podcast.
We agreed on the podcast.
She did indeed.
If you don't know, Savage Race is kind of like those obstacle course, army-style races where you go through mud and all types of difficult obstacles. There was, I think, 28 on this one. That includes everything from, you know, crazy like monkey bars to like Ninja Warrior style walls that you got to try to run up and climb over. There's water that you fall into. There's actual mud that you have to crawl and run through.
Monkey bars that fall into 7 feet of water.
Right. Yeah. So it's a pretty intense race, but it's one of those
And
things.
it happened while it was raining.
Yes,
Yeah.
which was the best part, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made it so much cooler. This is one of those things that's just kind of like whitepeopleshit.com that is just like,
Facts.
bro, white people should be fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I see this nowadays, they consider millennials in this phase of their life as like the millennials gone mad, existential crisis type of thing. I wanted to ask you guys, like, remember, like, there was like this one thing that was like, oh, pray for my friend. I lost them to another half marathon, stuff
Half
like
marathon
that.
training.
And like, as you guys know, if you've heard the past episodes, Shamir and I both did a half marathon.
Yeah,
So it's like a lot of people feel this way in their millennial age, I guess, where they're just doing these kind of physical activities, I guess, to try to get some
Combat the aging.
or like the dry routine, or just
Yeah.
try to look for something in their life. But what do you guys think it is? Like, why did you decide to do this or other kind of like activities like this? Is it true that the it's a generational thing when you come to this late 20s, early 30s phase of your life?
I mean, for me, it was like, if friends are doing it, like, let's do it. I like physical activity. So like, since we got invited by friends, I was like, oh, if friends are doing it, I'm down. And that's how like all these races have kind of happened for me. It was just like, oh, if friends are doing it, I'm down. But I'm not like seeking them, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in growing up, there was a lot of sports. There was a lot of like things that you're naturally in, where even if you don't feel like doing it, you're competing regardless, or you're playing. And it is nice, I'll say, at this phase in our lives to have like, instead of just going to the gym every day and training for like kind of nothing, to be training for something.
For something, yeah.
And it makes it like, once you do the thing, you know, challenge yourself, you set a goal, you either reach it or you come close, or you set one for next time. It's nice to like be able to physically kind of like continue to challenge yourself in that way. So I do get it a little bit, like that millennial thing, quote unquote.
Yeah. I think I'm just down to a fault.
That's true.
Like, oh, you want me to do something? Like, down. Sure.
Amber will be scared to do something, and she's just like, yes. And then she's like, how, why. She asked the questions afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she says
agrees
down,
first.
and then she's like, "Oh, how do I?" But when, why?
Cause I ain't no bitch.
Which is good. Like
I'm
you
just
need
like-
you need a person that's always down. You know.
I don't want to like scare myself out of it. I want to figure out how I'm going to get through it. And I'm not going to lie, like running is brutal for me. Like I'm a stairmaster girly. Leave me on the stairmaster for an hour.
No, I agree.
That's fine.
Running sucks.
Running sucks.
It's terrible.
Look, this is an article on Yahoo, and this says right here: once people enter their 30s and over, there tends to be a natural shift in seeking deeper meaning and purpose in life. Completing a marathon or half marathon gives a sense of achievement and affirmation of one's personal capabilities and resilience. So, like, yeah, that's exactly what I think.
In our 30s, we might feel that we've lost a degree of structure in our lives. We don't have the same school or university timetable that dictates our schedules or metrics of achievement.
Bro, that's what us like getting together to play volleyball, pickleball is all about.
Yeah.
It's like we need something to like,
Yeah.
you know, be a little bit different and outside of the mundane schedules of just like work and just like life
Yeah.
stuff. So many responsibilities. Like it's an escape in a way.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this race in particular, I thought it was like super fun. Like
Yeah.
compared to half marathon, like that sucked. Like
Yeah.
that was like, I don't know, even though I did it, I didn't feel the sense of achievement that I did like in this one. This one was like, oh, friends. It was like, I mean, half marathon was positive too, but this is felt like way more positive. There's way more people like helping each other. There's way more people like supporting because it's like you're doing obstacles together.
Yeah.
With the half marathon, you're kind of like, it's yourself.
Yeah.
I thought the half marathon like and running in general is truly like a mental battle the entire time. Physically, it's like as long as you get over the threshold of like my body wants to stop, let me just keep going. Like you have to keep kind of like climbing over that wall. But in this, climbing over physical walls, for some reason, it feels mentally a lot easier, and it's like you're playing.
Yeah.
You're having. It's like you're in a jungle gym type of thing.
Yeah.
And you're right. You have your team with you. But you and my brother were actually going for the clock.
We were
And out of our group, you got like first out of our group.
Yeah, which
Killed
was,
it.
which was not the goal.
Uh-huh.
I had no plan of like being first or whatever. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna run. I just saw Dower like running, so I was like, okay, I don't want Dower to be alone, so I was like, let me run with Dower.
Yeah.
Or like groups split into two groups.
Yeah, that's what I thought was happening.
You left me with this sack of potatoes. I'm kidding.
and
No.
and so then I was just running with him, and so then it ended up being like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, an hour, and then like I didn't see Dower anymore, and so then I'm like, and so then once I finished. I was like, oh, okay, we'll just wait another like 10, 15 minutes.
Can you share these while you're talking about this? Is Shamir's photos from it. I like this past one. Go back one.
That's
That's so funny.
go
Look
to
at
the
face.
Go to the next one.
I know that was scary too because it was so
this guy
steep.
became my boy like the last third because I lost Dower.
What's his name?
His name's Tony.
Okay.
So,
last
like-
hour like behind you.
Yeah.
Dang, Shamir.
So
Dower said he like knocked out for one of them.
Yeah.
he knocked out at first, and I didn't see it. So like that's where I think I lost him.
It's like he blacked out.
But yeah, I made friends with this guy because he was just like, yo, like keep it up. And like we kept seeing each other, like he passed me, I passed him, whatever. So then we were just like started striking conversation while we're doing these. Sometimes he would mess up at some obstacles and then he would like, fix himself. And then I would mess up the other. He's like, come on, man, let's go. So then we just like talked and became boy. Like we slid down that slide together. Like we decided to go down like, hey, let's go down together.
But bro, when we were in the back, like we were with a lot of the girls, right? And it was actually like a different rewarding feeling almost because everybody that was like, so when it comes to like my brother, you like amongst the guys, like we're pretty competitive, like we'll go for it, right? But to see other people, like who aren't used to like this much kind of like physical toll or like just going for it in this way, which included some people who did it like something like this for the first time. It was so cool to see people challenge themselves, like including Amber, like just going for an obstacle and then being like, oh, I couldn't get it, whatever. And then doing it again and just seeing like the feeling of just like, I can't believe like I did that. Like that was so cool. And like, it was so fun to just see everybody like help each other and get over these obstacles and like do it together. Like that was my favorite part about it. Did you feel like you accomplished what you wanted to or?
Yeah, I have some tough feelings about this. Wow, we haven't had an Amber cry in a while.
You're gonna cry about it?
What happened?
You weren't really a sack of potatoes.
What happened? Oh my God.
I didn't expect to cry.
It's okay, cry it out. This is good.
Yeah.
This is what
good.
these things are supposed to do.
This is what happens on the Patreon.
This is that millennial bullshit.
Yeah, this happens on Patreon, but never on the main episode.
I know. I just was not proud of myself in a lot of ways.
Really?
Why?
Because like there's a lot of like factors that played into this, like that like don't really matter, right? Like I hadn't gotten a lot of sleep leading up to it. I was like PMSing, so I was like bloating a bunch, and like I didn't feel really strong. I felt really fat the whole time. And like I didn't love how I felt, and I didn't feel like I accomplished that much.
Can I say that I was also PMSing?
It was tough because like for me, I feel like I will say like I feel like this course was, and again, I'm not trying to negate from the experience, it was definitely like built by a man. Like none of it was like tailored towards what like a lot of us girls weren't able to like pull ourselves up and like do a pull up, and
The walls were.
a lot of them required like upper body strength that I think like none of them were like, oh, jump squat all the way through, or we can just like gallivant through it. A lot of it was like, oh, like use your upper body strength to like swing yourself across. Like I have like literally my ass weighs 70 pounds by itself.
Yeah.
Like having
Can
to
we pull
like,
up the Party Next Door P4 cover just for reference?
and so like trying to lift that up and like go across, and like just knowing that like you are unable to do it was not very accomplishing. Like I would definitely want to do it again, but like do it better. I'm just not really like happy with how I looked, felt, or anything during the race. But like I was really proud of you though.
Oh.
Okay, can I just say, like, in all seriousness, like I was like very proud of you. Like you watching you like first of all keep up, and you were in front of a lot of people. Like there was guys in our group, particularly one that was like way in the back, who was like, I can't do this, whining through the whole thing. And at least like the fact that you attempt is 90%.
Dude, literally 90% of girls would say no.
And they did.
Yeah.
Amber has so many of her friends, and they all said no. And it was just like these people who are just like, I can't do a single pull-up, I'm gonna do it anyways. Like we still got through it. We still attempted it. There wasn't a single one that you didn't attempt.
Yeah.
Like you attempted, you saw, okay, this is like, at one point, you know, like your hands are giving out, it was cold. It was like, by the end of it, you are a noodle.
Yeah. Also,
your
like,
limbs are noodles.
Dude, I was asking so many people because we had like somebody drop out. So I was like asking so many people to do it. I've asked marathon runners. They're like, nah, like it seems like, you know, too difficult, or it seems too gross to get muddy. And I'm like, what the hell? So like everyone that showed up, I was like,
also, by the way, those people, sometimes it's an embarrassment thing, right? Like you're saying you didn't feel proud of how you looked, how you felt, whatever. Like the fact that you were out there and still with a smile on your face, showed up, having like a tough weekend, whatever, everything else going on, like you were willing to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I mean, like crying on the podcast right now, like how embarrassing. Like you look like the Her Loss cover. It's disgusting. No, but like those marathon
I had
runners,
a lot of fun. I did.
Yeah.
It's just that like looking at the pictures and stuff, I'm like, oh, like I don't love the way I look, and I'm not really like liking how I was feeling at the time in terms of like things that like I know I'd typically be able to run through. Like when you're PMSing, like your heart rate like jumps up instead of like staying like steady.
Yeah.
So my heart rate was like through the roof, as opposed to like a week before when I'm trying, I can maintain a stable like heart rate and stuff. So there was a lot of challenges that I feel like presented themselves at once, but like, do I regret it? Not at all. And I want to do it again. If anything, like I really hope that I can look back at this and be like, okay, like I felt like shit then, but like this time I accomplished it. And I do really hope that that happens in the future. I just also can recognize that like this was not something that I feel like I killed. This was something I feel like I completed.
Sometimes it's also the fact that like you hear this from athletes all the time where they're like, I had the toughest camp leading up to this fight, to this, you know, the playoffs, whatever it is. But then the game that's supposed to count, either, you know, they choke, they get sick, something happens, and they, you know, feel so terrible because they're like, all this hard work for what? Yeah. Right? Like we see this time and time again. And these are professional athletes where they're just like, I was off. I did everything. But the fact is that like the training that they like endure to go up to that is like a testament to, you know, their resilience already. So I know like you, for example, you were working on these box jumps, like leading up to it. You reached a new goal, a new PR for yourself in that. And I'm sure like other things too. You ran. I know that you like.
I don't like running.
You don't like running, but you were like, I ran 4 miles today, which is like, usually
Insane.
I don't hear you say that. And for people that like don't run at all, like that is a lot.
That's an insane amount.
Yeah. So all
Sorry
jokes
for being a
aside,
Debbie.
you should be proud of yourself. And you know, we all in the mud, playing in the mud.
Yeah.
In the pictures, we look
was
like hippos.
fun.
All of us look like hippos. We're hungry hippos.
Also, like, I don't want to say like I completely relate, but that's how I kind of felt for my half marathon. I felt like I could have done so much better. Like I had like knee issues. I'm like, dude, like if this was me like 2 months ago, I would have killed this. I felt like I could have trained harder, but my knee was hurting and stuff like that. So I felt like I could have had a better time.
I feel like I could have beat Faraz's time. That's why he was really mad. Say the truth, bro.
Yeah, no, honestly, it was my friends. Like they were like way ahead of me. They were so ahead of me that they didn't even wait for me at the end of the line. I was like so behind. I was like, dude, I feel like shit. When people were like, yo, congrats on the run, I was like, dude, like I was so behind, bro.
And that's why, honestly, you're probably crying right now is because you're surrounded by like absolute supreme human beings. We are just elite, you know, Greek gods and goddesses. And so, you know, you're comparing yourself against a very high standard. If you look at your ranking in the actual race, you beat a lot of people. Remember the guy with the gloves that was next to you? I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I don't know how to get over this.
Yeah.
And then he was like, bro, you wore gloves. Like,
Yeah. I wish
it
I had
shouldn't-
gloves.
It shouldn't have hurt. No, but you didn't.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do like some of the stuff that you were doing with the gloves.
Yeah.
So chill out a little bit, okay? Be proud of yourself.
Okay.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Good job on it, though.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cry.
You don't have to apologize.
Yeah.
This is a part of like why we do these things. You're having a crisis. You're a millennial. Your life is going to shit. It's just
Would you do it again?
downhill.
I would definitely do it again. I just want to do it better.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm glad that I did the half marathon because, bro, like, I was so like energized because one, like,
The running came easy.
the running was easy, but like, it was what I fed myself. So like during my half marathon, I just carb loaded and I didn't eat anything the morning of. And so like my body's metabolism was like really fast. So I was like dehydrated, hungry, whatnot. This time I'm like, okay, I'm going to carb load in the morning too. And I'm going to drink a lot of electrolytes in the morning. Bro, I didn't need a sip of water like throughout that whole run. Cause I was just like feeling myself. And I was just like, all right, I learned from the first time. So now like not even just like working out in terms of how do I like better, you know, eat and fuel my body. Like I learned a lot from that.
Yeah. You learn along the way and you get more comfortable the more things you do like this. Like if I was doing this for the first time without doing something like a half or like other competitive sports that like we've kind of done, no way I'd be comfortable here.
Yeah.
I'd be looking like you right now. Just terrible. I'm messing. Valid feelings, right? Yeah. It's just like it's part of the process and you're gonna do it again. And next time, people listen a year from now and listen to her response about what she says then. I guarantee you.
I hope we can do one of those like TikTok shows where it's like me when I started running like 22 mile pace, 22 minute pace.
And it's a
then
clip of this podcast with like the piano music.
Yeah.
You're like talking like Mike Tyson. I feel like a warrior. I can't get that monster out of me. I just can't lose. And then in a year, she's just like, I crushed that shit. She beats our time. The podcast is over.
I'm crying.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, maybe. We'll
Okay,
see
but-
how this goes.
But then we celebrated at night at Challo Fiesta, hosted by one of the greatest hosts there could be, Doug Dimmadome, aka Shimmer Wally.
Killed it.
Yes,
Invited us to a
sir.
party. It was a nice a combination, a medley of South Asian / Spanish flavor.
Yep.
How did it feel to host this party, and did you get kind of what you expected out of it?
Yeah, I mean, so basically, one of my friends, he was making this event, and like I was like, hey, let me help out. How can I help out? Let me be an MC. Let me do some marketing and whatnot. So I did that. But the night of, this was after the run.
Yeah.
So exhausted. I had a 1 hour nap, kind of fueled me up, and I kind of had to like ignore my soreness, tiredness, all that stuff, and kind of toughed it out, and then crashed early in the morning and just stayed in bed like all day.
But look at these Cowboys.
Yeah. So basically, I was MCing, and I wanted to dress nice, kind of look a little different, and so I was like, I saw my brother's white cowboy hat, and I was like, you know what? Let me pull this out, and then.
But also, a cowboy hat is not a sombrero.
Yeah, I didn't have a sombrero, so I was
No,
like,
but I feel like the Mexicans are like the original Cowboys, aren't they?
No, but that's what I'm saying is like this event was called Jello Fiesta, like brown and like Hispanic or Mexican or whatever, right?
yeah.
All the guys I feel like pulled up except you had like you actually had a really cool outfit, like a nice little like suit situation with the cowboy hat. Don't get the cowboy hat, but nonetheless very cool. But then the rest of them showed up in like shalwar kameez, like Desi clothes, fine.
Yeah.
But then you guys had cowboy hats on too, and I was like, where's the howdy in this event?
I love it. See, we're thinking.
First of all, don't say all the boys. This was only exclusive
The Bel Air boys.
to us, okay? We showed up and we saw Shimmer in it, and we were like, he gets it.
Yeah.
You guys don't know like history, okay? And neither do we. We just assumed that like it was appropriate. I thought shalwar kameez with a cowboy hat, never seen it before. I want to do this. And my only question was, if Doug was at Challo Fiesta, who's watching the Dimmadome? That's the only thing that concerned me.
We got security there.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about the security really quickly?
Yeah.
So it looked like, and you can tell me if this is true or false, it seems like a lot of the people that were running the event were your friends, right?
All of them were.
And so the security was your friends in Amazon security jackets?
Yep. It was all Amazon security gear. They got it the day of, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you got to secure the package.
You got to secure the package.
I looked over and I was like, those security. First of all, I walk in and I see your friend doing the check-in with the security on. He's the bouncer.
Yep.
Okay. I was like, interesting. So not a bouncer, but playing bouncer today. Love that. I looked over, somebody's adding wristbands, checking IDs, also wearing the security jacket. I was like, that is also Shamir's friend, probably.
It looked hard though.
It did. I was like, if I didn't know, this is so official, but it's just a bunch of Shamir's friends playing characters.
Literally. So this is what I loved about this event is that from the ground up, it's all run by friends. Like so my friend recently, he started, running the bar. And so he has this like location area. And so my other friend was like, hey, since you run this bar, like, maybe we can have like a brown event. Because we don't have those, especially in Maryland. They're either in DC or Virginia, but never in Maryland or even in this part of Maryland. So my friend was like, hey, if you can get the people to come, like, why not? It's a win-win for both situations. So we did one in February. It turned out like amazing. We gave out free tickets. So this was the second event. You guys were out of town. I think you were in Alaska and you were on your cruise, but it turned out amazing. It was like very nice. We made like a bunch of money from the door. So it was cool. This event, we were like, all right, let's have this like brown
Dimmadome stacking
Latin
the dough.
brown Latin theme. And what's it called? So yeah, all the people that are making the mocktails and all this cocktails and all this stuff, they were like friends of friends. The security guards, all of them were friends. The MC friend, DJ friend. Literally every like people that were helping us with marketing friend. So it was kind
Love
of like
that.
cool.
Speaking of cocktails and cocks, the first time my friend made me aware that I got cock blocked
Really?
I caught a stray cock block.
Oh.
This is wonderful. So I didn't know what it was to get. This is actually the second time I've ever gotten a stray cock block.
Oh.
Yeah. So you ever see those videos where like somebody is like just walking, minding their business, and then somebody pulls up with a children's basketball hoop in front of them, and then what happens?
They dunk in it.
Somebody random comes from behind them and dunks it on them, right? Now, here's what happened. I'm there at this event supporting my friend, Doug Dimmadome, and I'm just there to have a good time with the homies, right? Basically, what happened is there's a basketball court where we're all dancing, right? And then somebody passes me a ball and is like, "Hey, do you know how to dribble?"
Frost, just say what happened.
I'm telling you what happened.
But
No metaphors.
No metaphors. Tell us what took place.
What took place is I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll shoot around a little bit. I don't mind." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not here with a jersey.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
I'm not in the playoffs. Playoffs, right? You don't get the reference.
It's fine. I understood there was one.
Okay, so I'm not in the playoffs. I'll shoot around. I don't mind. And then out of nowhere, I get dunked on
Ooh.
by some random dude. I was like, "This is awkward."
Yeah. So funny enough,
I didn't know I was playing rec league over here. You know what I mean? I didn't even know I was playing the game.
You were like watching on the sidelines, and then someone passes you the ball.
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh, maybe I'll shoot around." And then you go to shoot. I get
dunked on. I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I went back to my homies, and they were like, "Yo, you just got cock blocked." I was like, "What? I got cock blocked."
Interesting.
Funny enough, that player was already in the game before you were involved.
Oh,
I
so
was
you were the
watching.
cock blocker.
He just walked onto the court.
Oh, I see what happened.
Yeah.
I'm Unc, right? There's an old uncle
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
on the side. He's like, "Nephew, pass me the ball."
Right.
And it's like, "Hey, the kids are playing.
Yeah.
Why don't you and your bearded cowboy ass leave the premises before we call the police on trespassing?"
But the girl had a dilemma. The person she was already playing with
What
on
girl? What are you talking about? The girl? We're talking about basketball.
the ball.
playoffs.
The ball already had a player that she felt like there was good momentum going with.
Okay.
However, she thought, "Wow, that's a player that I've been trying to get play for a while now. This is a player I've been trying to get to play.
She like my handles?
Forget this guy I'm playing with. I've been trying to play with this guy."
Steph Curry with the shot, boy.
And so then she was like, "Hey,
She's like, who's this
what's
throwing
going
half court
on?"
shots? This is interesting. Wait,
And-
that's what happened?
Yeah, Frost, are you that unaware of what took place?
I was
Clearly.
there because I got an invite from Doug Dimmadome to play in the
Are
Hippodrome.
you unaware of who this person was?
Listen, I'm just,
Frost.
I was just balling.
Wait.
You know what I mean?
There
I'm
was
just
some
bald.
pre-event
There's
stuff.
there's pre stuff that Frost is forgetting. I don't think that
Like
he's remember-
pre-event.
There's pre-events.
Oh,
Listen.
Okay, I don't even know about this.
I'll tell you the truth. I tried out for the high school team, right?
What the fuck is
Oh.
going
I
on?
made it to the first round, but then
Wait, so you've played with this ball before?
no, not this ball. I tried out for the high school
Guys.
team. Actually, our producer, he made the team. I didn't make the team.
Now I've lost.
Then I was like, let me go join the wrestling team, right?
Frost, you're being silly. Stick.
Okay. So this is actually the second time. The first time, what happened was I was in London, right? I was playing some London ball, right?
Yeah.
And what happened there?
Football.
Okay, let me just be clear. I wanted to study abroad trip to London, right? This was a while ago, a couple of years ago, and there, all of the students that went with me, they were all girls, by the way. They wanted to go out the first night.
You
right?
were also a student. You made it sound like you weren't.
Yeah.
I was a teacher.
Yeah.
I was not chaperoning, but I saw the event take place, like Taken, right? We go there and they're like, "Oh, let's go out, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Okay, let me see the nightlife of London, mate." Wait, not mate. Bruv. So I put my I put my knife in my back pocket, and I was like, let me see if things get chippy, right? So then I was like, let me go out, let me see. And then there's guys in vans outside of the club that are like, sweetheart, come with me, like from different countries, right? You could taken, yeah. You could get a Moroccan van, you could get a Somali van, you could get a French van. You know what I'm saying? Like there's pick your van.
Yeah.
Right? So anyways, I was like, I don't like this scene. I don't like what's going on here. They want to go. I was like, okay, let's go inside. I go up to one of somebody that was already in there in the club, and I'm asking questions about like how this goes down.
So now that we're in this like loud place with really, really loud music and light going on, like what do we do here?
Right. I'm the only one that had to pay a cover fee. So I was pretty tight
You
about
should
that.
have been like, yo, I brought 20 girls here.
So I was like,
matter of fact, none of them
16.
can come in unless you let me in.
Yeah.
and so I asked one of the girls that was like, she looked like she knew what was doing, and I asked like kind of like the vibe, right? And then her friend comes out of nowhere and she's like, toom, toom, toom. You know, like, have you ever played Mario 64 where like Bowser comes in the final level on top of that hill? No, you haven't.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, but that's what she came in like, right? And she was just like, don't talk to my friend. I was like, no, I'm not. I was asking a question you can ask. And she was like, don't talk to my friend. And I was like, okay. And somebody was like, yo, you just got cock blocked. I was like, no, that's not what happened.
That's ugly friend activities.
And now that's her lost activity.
You should have been like, oh, I was after you.
It was. So this is the second time I got straight cock blocked.
Again,
I'm
there's
sick of it.
context. No, there's context you're missing, but it's fine.
There's context you're missing,
But
to be
you wanted
honest.
to play with the ball.
Good question.
Did you
I
wanna
wanted
play?
to. I was
Or
there
were you trying
to
to
play.
dribble around a little bit?
There was a basketball on the court, right?
You just
I was
wanted to dribble?
just trying to handle, shoot a little bit. I didn't care who was, you know what I mean, the other player.
Gotcha.
But I was like, okay, not bad. Not little one-on-one action, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because all the homies left. They were like, we're not playing 50. Play some one-on-one.
But to be fair, that ball did roll back to your feet at the end of the night.
It did.
It did.
Is this a metaphor? Like I'm just
Frost doesn't want to be straight up about what happened. A girl was already talking to a dude at the club. The girl comes up to Faraz to be like, hey, I'm trying to holler. That friend was like, yo, I already came with this girl. What's going on here? Comes into cock block. Frost is like, wait, I'm blindsided. But that's because his eyes were closed. And then, because if he was looking, he would have known. And then she continued to go back with that guy because that's who she basically was hanging out with. And then she abandoned him to come get Frost's number at the end of the night.
What are you, a sports commentator?
And then,
How
and
come
then
I didn't see-
Faraz gave his number at the end of the night to her. So it did work out.
So you're playing a different sport now.
A different sport. Don't act like you're all
That's not the way that I thought that it happened.
right. But I was admiring from afar.
She is the sports commentator.
Hello.
Also, okay. I'm gonna
So
stop.
it's not a complete cock block. There might be success. Is there success?
And
But
this friend,
that's not even okay. So
and this ball had expressed interest prior to
ball.
no, that's not. That's not.
Yes,
how
it is.
No, that's not what happened. You don't even know. The only thing that happened was okay. On the real, I posted stuff on my Instagram. Right, I was trying to raise money for some charity stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And the other player, raised. I mean,
More money?
No. Not raised, gave other resources.
Okay, can you just
basically.
say like specifically? Frost posted on his story about, hey, let me know if you have any links to like places to donate.
Yeah.
And the girl, let's stop calling her a player or a ball. The girl, the
Girls,
ball,
no.
The ball.
Dun 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 dun.
the girl hit him up and gave him a,
Girls is players too. Mm-hmm. You don't know?
yeah, clearly right. So the girl had hit him up and gave him a bunch of links, but you're still forgetting prior context.
There
for that.
it was friendly.
Yeah, but that girl had already expressed interest in you via her friend to you. And we've had a conversation about this.
Okay, but that was like light. That was not like a serious like.
Yeah, but
it was
there
just
was
kind of
still,
like
I think it was still important.
All right, ladies.
You're reading into it too much.
I'm not.
Ladies, if you want to holler,
You're not
Start
reading
talking
into
about
it enough.
Stray
You're
CB.
making it into football. I mean, freaking basketball when it was a situation at the club.
ladies,
Now we're calling it the club.
be straightforward with Frost. He's not going to get your hints.
Yeah.
That's the moral of
Leave
the
your
story.
cock blocks in the corner.
No metaphors. Just tell him straight up. He'll give you metaphors back.
And
but-
and if you do have a cock block there that's available, just tell him to take a few steps back out of Ross's view, because again, he is blind. So as long as he's out of
You
eyesight,
making fun of my vision?
a little bit.
All right.
What'd you guys think of the event?
Fire event
Great event.
put together well.
It was hype.
Was it
Oh, and
professional? Was it?
You
like-
had a really good food truck outside. Please say the name.
We had Chili Pepper Cooks. He's a famous TikToker.
Yeah.
He's actually flaked on us before. And I was afraid that might happen again. Didn't happen. He came through.
His quesadillas.
Why are you gonna roast him?
Because there's some history.
His
but yeah.
quesadillas.
Yo, there's so much
slapped.
shade on this pod right now.
His quesadillas slapped.
Yeah. No, those were amazing.
now,
quesadillas.
when you say quesadillas, is that a metaphor?
No, that was direct. I'm not you. Like when I say the food was so good.
Yeah.
You're saying that quesadillas were thick.
They were actually really thick. They were stuffed.
Sour cream? But whoa.
Not enough sour cream, actually.
Now, when you ate the quesadillas, were you stuffed?
Yes.
That's all I want to know. I'm just asking questions.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Great job.
Oh, also, you guys had a mocktail bar, which I thought was really cool and different.
Oh, featuring a drink
Rue.
called the
The
Rue.
roux. Yeah. I had to make sure that was in there because we were using ruafza. And so then I was like, all right, can we have this drink named after, the homies?
Yeah. Wait,
then-
you did that?
Yeah.
Look at you go.
So
Yeah. And you guys had you guys had a mango one, you had the roux, and then you had a strawberry lassi spritz. Oh my God. I'm a mocktail
Oh,
girly
wow.
to my core. I love a mocktail. I love a mocktail all day, every day. And I just really appreciated that I could go to a bar and get a mocktail.
did you like the lassi spritz?
Oh my God. It was so good.
Okay.
Why
It
didn't you
was
give me
so-
some?
I did offer you 3 times.
I actually sipped hers before I gave it to her. And I was like, damn, this shit's good, bro.
The mango one was really good. I tried that.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
What'd you think of the roux?
I didn't try the Rue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tried the roux. It was cool, but not as good as
There's a lot of
stuff.
bacteria in the club, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just want to be careful.
Yeah. And then we had a dedicated quiet space.
Really?
Literally that entire, where all those tables are.
Bro, I was screaming in the quiet place.
Really?
Well, the doors were open. The music was coming right
Yeah,
through.
but when you were sitting down,
no,
eating,
yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it was like
It was
chill.
nice. It was
It
chill.
was the perfect combination because obviously it's not like a club, so it's not like you could have sections to sit
Yeah.
down. And I hate bars.
Yeah.
I hate bars.
For context, it's a food hall, and then a corner of it is a bar area, and then the food hall closes, but it's open for you to sit
Yeah.
down at. But yeah, continue.
And I don't like bars. I don't like the vibe of bars. I don't like being rubbed up against. Nothing about a bar appeals to me. However,
Unless you got some quesadillas.
at this bar, the quiet section gave me the opportunity to take a step away, still enjoy the music from afar, but also engage in conversation. Also, sit down a little bit. Also, be able to go touch up my makeup and talk shit. So I really
Talk
appreciate.
shit.
Yeah, I was being honest.
How come we didn't do that?
Well, you were too busy being
Playing with balls.
and too busy being talked about because you were messing with the ops.
Yeah.
What? Who were the ops? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, see, this is why I don't like these environments.
Patreon.
This is crazy,
But
bro.
anyways, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, it's just so funny because of that quiet space. I felt like it gave so much comfort to the introverts, maybe too much comfort. Because I'd ask oh, where's this person at? They're like, oh, their social batteries kind of drained, so they went out. And then I was like, where's this person? Oh, they're on a phone call, something happened. And then I'm like, oh, where's this person? They're like, oh, they went to step out for a bit. I'm like, maybe we gave too much freedom to the introverts.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
there's
still
enough
packed.
people.
Yeah.
Too much comfort to the introverts is crazy.
That was my goal. I was like, yo.
They're like,
Fellow introverts.
they had to take a BetterHelp meeting.
Boom, boom, boom. So how do you feel about that? Boom, boom.
Well, my anxiety is at a peak.
But yeah, if you guys are ever in the area and we do another event, come through.
Hell yeah. Good job, Shimmer, a.k.a. Doug Dimmadome,
Yeah.
owner of the
It felt like
owner of the Dimsdale
Demadome.
Dimmadome.
felt like college days where we used to
Like
Host-
PSA.
No, like where we used to host stuff like around college and like go to events and like have to put sets together and like you're like asking about these like random things and whatever. So it felt, and all of our friends came out, people who don't go to bars and stuff like that, to come and like enjoy an event that you helped put together.
Yeah.
That it gave me like older vibes, like old times, and it just felt really cute and cozy.
Yeah.
I liked
Choose
it
your
a lot.
halal haram ratio.
Yeah.
Like you can be absolutely halal there.
Or
chill out.
absolutely haram,
That's true. Like Amber.
like you.
That was fun. Okay, last thing we're gonna do is and then we'll take it to the Patreon, is we wanna give a quick catch up to, we did this Savage Race, right? Physically fatigued. But I have not been more fatigued in my life than keeping up with the drops of this rat beef.
It's too much.
Facts.
It's too much. What I want to do is I want to play a little game, set a timer, go over this timeline just to catch up with what even happened here. And then we'll talk about who do you guys think won this thing.
So far, or like in general?
It's kind of over a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
But
over.
as far as we know.
Okay.
But let's
Yeah.
see. I don't know. But so
Yeah, who
far, I guess. And then, yeah. So give me
What's the time?
a minute.
Can we do like 3
3 minutes to go over this
or
time.
4? I don't know.
You want me to set it on my
I feel like a
phone?
minute's too short.
Yeah.
Bet.
What do you say? What?
I think 3 minutes is enough
3 minutes. Okay.
if we stick to it. Because 1 minute we're gonna be like, let's add another minute. Let's add
Yeah.
another minute.
Okay, I'm going to say party A, party B.
Sure.
What's party A?
Watch.
Okay.
Let's do.
1 minute. Here we go.
Oh wait, hold on. I open up my gym app instead.
Gym app.
1 minute. Everybody knows the rules.
Do some workouts.
Ready? 3 minutes.
Okay, and this is only like recently, right?
go.
So, okay, party A, party B. So before the events of October 7th, party A had been absolutely going crazy on party B for a long time. And then party B stepped up after October 7th and did a little thing, dropped a little tiny diss track. And then party A started bombing and killed over 40,000 Palestinians. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This is the wrong news. Can you,
Yeah.
can you restart the
Wait,
timer?
just,
let me. I didn't mean to do that. I was.
Oh,
let's
here.
get to more important news. We're talking about Drake and Kendrick.
Go. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
Cool.
more? Oh. I'm just kidding. I understand.
Okay. All right. So this is the timeline since Like That dropped.
Yeah.
Kendrick kicks off with Like That, says there's no big three, there's only Big Me.
Friendly competition.
Friendly competition. J. Cole drops the 7-minute drill. Kendrick diss track, apologizes for it immediately, backs
days
out of the
after.
whole beef.
And he's like, I'm sorry. This is like a shitty thing to do. And then everyone's clowning him.
Drake drops push-ups, kind of going after everybody who's been in this Avengers-style beef, from Metro Boomin, Future, addresses Kendrick, The Weeknd, Rick Ross, everybody who's kind of like pulled up against him.
Calling Kendrick short.
Then Kendrick doesn't.
And small-footed.
Small-footed.
Then Kendrick doesn't respond immediately, so Drake
Wait,
drops.
should we put the timeline up?
Sure, yeah. And Drake drops a freestyle with AI Tupac, AI Snoop Dogg, basically clowning Kendrick for being the West Coast savior and not dropping in time since everybody's relying on him. Kendrick responds 2 weeks later with Euphoria, 3 beat switches, basically going after Drake, picking him apart, talking about his whole kind of like persona as being fake, calling him not black enough, etc., etc. Then he comes out with another track, 616 in LA, which is a famous timestamp style of Drizzy Drake, where he drops other tracks that are kind of in that similar style. In this song, he basically, what does he say in this one? I forget. 616 in LA. Do you remember?
I mean, he must have said something about family, didn't he? Oh, no, that's
that was the one
Graham.
after that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of forgetting like what that one was.
I'm just thinking it had to have, because that's the reason why Family Matters had dropped later, was like, you brought the kids into it, not me type shit.
Okay. And then so Family Matters, Drake goes after Kendrick, his wife,
Says his baby's not his.
Says that he says a bunch of things where it's just like he says that he never drops. He's only ever going dropping these things because he's pushing him to. He says that he's like fake woke essentially.
Yeah. And then he goes after other people, I think, in that song too.
In Family Matters, yeah. He goes after Weeknd,
A$AP Rocky.
yeah,
Good.
more Rick Ross. And then he drops the. Well, did parody? Oh yeah, the parody was the kind of like the teaser for Family Matters.
3 minutes is up, but keep going. I'll give you 1 more minute on the clock.
We forgot what happened in some of these because
It's
so
just
long.
so exhausting.
Kendrick drops back to back to back
Okay,
while
wait.
this is happening.
Right after Family Matters.
15 minutes after.
15 minutes after.
He drops Meet the Grams. I was literally going on YouTube. I was like, oh my God, Drake dropped. And as I go on YouTube, I see that Kendrick has already dropped. I was like, oh my God, this is before the Savage Race.
Right
I
before.
could not
Morning
sleep.
of.
Yeah. He drops Meet the Grams and picks every single member of his family apart.
Yeah.
This is when he also starts making the allegations about Drake being a pedo and
having a daughter.
Having a daughter.
And then he drops Not Like Us, which is an absolute bop, West Coast style, goes after the whole OVO crew and calls the whole OVO camp and Drake's mansion full of pedophiles. He also says that Drake is not a colleague to his Atlanta buddies, Quavo, Future, everybody that's down in the Atlanta scene, Savage and all them. He says they're not your colleague. You're not their colleagues. You're their colonizer. And then Drake basically
He also posts a picture of what is supposedly like his what's
The
it
mansion.
called photo cover for I think Meet the Grams, or was it the other one? Had a picture of like Ozempic
Oh yeah,
and
that was
this
Meet the
and
Grams,
that.
I think.
And that cover was fed to Kendrick by
Someone
Drake
in-
allegedly
Yeah.
while he was snooping.
That's what he says.
Allegedly.
That's what the last track Drake says that we fed you all this information and you took the bait. So
Yeah.
it was everything from having the fake daughter to all of the Epstein style allegations, etc. So Drake kind of also sounds tired in the last track, like it's kind of over.
Yeah, he's like, please,
he's
I'm tired.
He's like, I know you're gonna drop like 10 more after this, but I've said what I need to say, and that's where we're at. It's been insanity just trying to keep up with this stuff, going and trying to understand the context, trying to figure out what's real, what's not, right? But as the audience, have we not just absolutely been spoiled by some of the greatest music from these two back to back to back?
Either music or drama. I think people are like enticed by either or.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's the energy right now. I don't think these are like complete bangers where we're like, it's like I don't think it'll last.
Except push-ups.
Bro, Not Like Us is a banger.
But I don't think it'll last. Like I feel like the other ones had like impact. Like way back in the day, the other diss tracks, like the Meek
If
Mill,
back
like
to back lasts,
Yeah, back to back lasted.
that's what I'm saying. Back to back.
Push-ups is lasting.
Push-ups last.
Push-ups might last, but I'm just saying like a lot of in between, especially the last
Not
track.
Like Us is lasting.
No, it's not.
The last track.
I promise
hater.
you. It's already playing in clubs. People are crip walking to it already.
Yeah, Not Like
they
Us
not
is-
like us.
but
They
the-
not like us.
the last
Bum, bum, bum,
track
bum.
Drake dropped, that's not lasting. That's
No,
like
no, no.
Yeah. Oh no,
That's
that's
like-
definitely.
that was like
I
an
don't
interlude.
think anything
Yeah.
else is gonna last except for push-ups from Drake, and then Not Like Us.
But
for
I
Kendrick.
think it's kind of like you had to be there. Like
Yeah.
especially when back to back dropped, like that moment was crazy.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, you had to be there. But
This is what I think about some of the criticism, right? People are really involved with which side wins, right? This is why I say that we're spoiled in this way. If you are, for example, a movie fan, you're a big movie fan, right? Sometimes you go on Rotten Tomatoes and you look at the critic score and you look at the audience score. Sometimes you want to watch a movie because it's critically acclaimed, it's award winning, it's artsy. You might not watch it again, but you want to know how far somebody can push their creativity and make every scene count. And then you go and you watch Fast and Furious with your homies, and you're like, this shit is fun and let's get crazy. It doesn't have to have any purpose. We can just, ride out and enjoy ourselves. I think that we have a mix of both of these, right?
Yeah.
You have some people who are, and it's funny because like I'll get a ton of texts from like people who think that I'm like a hardcore Kendrick fan, and then people who think I'm a hardcore Drake fan, because I take this stance often, which is like, do you not see what's happening? It's like you can enjoy all of it for what it is. Euphoria, for example, is Kendrick just layering things that is just like so complicated and nice. And it's just like it's not going to be a bop.
Yeah.
Push-ups, it's like you're singing along, you're having fun. Same with Not Like Us. And what stands true either way for this battle is that both of these guys, like, they've put in so much work into their penmanship, into the actual duel of it. Like, nobody loses in my eyes in this battle. You can pick a winner as far as like who you think like comes out of the top. For me, it would be Kendrick. But as far as like what they were able to show and prove is that, like, as busy as their lives are, coming out with these like tracks that are so complicated and just dense is crazy.
Yeah. My favorite thing about all this is like people's reactions. Like just random people on Twitter, like they're famous. Like for me, it's like streamers, right? They don't care anything about rap, but now they're like, there's this like the girliest girl that would never talk about like Drake's lyrics or Kendrick's lyrics. She's like, oh my God, when Kendrick said this, like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, bro, when did you care about this? Like, it's like the randomest people. And that's the funniest thing. And then when people are like dissecting lyrics, when people,
the white boy bloggers going overtime.
Dude, like, the
suburbs are hot right now.
Yeah. That's my favorite. When they're excited, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe he said this. Or like the tweets like, oh, 616 is the time code of
I swear
Michael
to God,
Jackson's like third
sometimes
album.
they be adding in entendres that they probably didn't think of. I swear, bro.
No, definitely. They're like, did you know when you flip 616 to its head, that's like the sign of a snake, and that's what Drake is? It's like, bro, come on. Like, that's not, bro.
I do love the dissecting, especially when it's like super, because I'm like, they could be so spot on or so wrong, and there's no knowing.
Yeah.
It's just.
I think what happens at the end of this, like, towards the end, it becomes kind of like too much. Like, we don't know what's true, what's not. These allegations are like really kind of like deep, and the tracks aren't like that fun anymore. You can hear the kind of like tiredness of it.
They're tired.
Yeah.
They're tired. But I think like what I reflected on a lot throughout this thing is like when it comes to people who go to battle, right? It's traditionally like that craving is still within us. Like when you go and everyone else is watching, the people who I think you have to respect the most are the people who step in and go at it, right? It's like how we were talking about the Savage Race before. There's people that will look at it and be like, oh yeah, like I don't need to go in there. Like I'm fit.
I could do that.
Good. I could do that. And then there's people that in front of everybody while everyone's watching, what will this person do? Like, it's like boxing and UFC, like there's some of the hardest sports because you're in there by yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how, like, if you look at competitive rap, that's why hip hop is so different than other genres, is because this is part of the culture and part of the genre is battle rap and like the beef kind of thing. And if you look at it from an artistic standpoint, I hate when like, people actually get hurt and there's violence and whatever else, kids, families are brought into it. But as far as these guys' artistic ability, like it reminds me of the quote of, I think it's Teddy Roosevelt, the man in the arena, which basically he says like the credit does not belong to the critics or anybody else. It belongs to the man who actually goes into the arena and battles, right? And it's like the fact that they went in and they really like, it's like they kept up with each other. They both dropped so many tracks. Like you got to respect them.
There's one person that came out on top though.
J. Cole?
I've never seen. Well, actually, yeah.
You changed your mind?
Cole,
You changed your mind?
Yeah. I think it's hilarious. He did the right thing, but it's funny. The memes are funny. 2, I've never seen this ever in my life before, but someone dropped a diss instrumental.
Oh, that's
Metro
so
Boomin. I've never seen this ever.
That's so funny.
It's a BBL Drizzy.
Yeah.
The beat is fire.
BBL, Drizzy.
The beat is fire. 2, He did the best thing. He was like, "Hey, rappers, you can rap on this beat. Best verse gets a free beat from me." So now you got the whole entire world dissing Drake in Japanese. Like,
Oh, that's so
and
true.
freaking like, random ass people making memes, funny bars. And I think it's just creatively, it's hilarious. And getting the community involved to like take down Drake, I think is just hilarious.
It's crazy how many people came out of nowhere and were like, I'm against this person or that person. Yeah. I think what it really shows is that one, don't mess with Kendrick, but also
Blah, blah, blah.
but also two, that Drake, although like Kendrick, it's just Kendrick versus Drake.
Actually,
Drake, it's him versus literally like
the world.
All of like hip hop and random people that are coming out. So it's like, don't mess with Drake either. Like he is that guy.
I think we have a note from our producer.
I just want to pose this question, like with the fan bases, you don't think it's weird that like they got so into it that like they're basically rooting for the one guy to actually have beaten his girlfriend and then the other guy to actually be a pedophile? Like you don't think Kendrick fans are actually hyped up about that?
It's weird because like I was actually talking about this the other day where the Meet the Graham song, to me at that point, that was a moment I was like, this is no longer fun.
Yeah.
I'm not having fun right now. I don't like this. Like, we're not singing along anymore. This is dark, malicious, and I'm uncomfortable. Like, and some people thrive off of like, oh yeah, like this is murder in a pen, blah, 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 whatever. I just felt like to have feelings and express them in that way towards somebody that was supposed to be a fun little rap beef. At that point, I was like, I don't like any of it anymore. Yeah. That was the moment.
At the end of the Not Like Us, like he's literally going like he's a fan, he's a freaky ass N-word, and then he's like say Obi ho, now step this way, and he's saying like he's using the word pedophile. He's saying like, oh, that probably stuck a chord, probably A minor.
Yeah.
It does become like, I wish I could just like listen to this song and like bop along and not accuse somebody of being a like Harvey Weinstein or Epstein type of thing. It is definitely weird. Yeah. But I want to ask you guys, like, what do you think was the most, like the best song when it comes to like critically? What was the most creative one? And then what's the best bop?
Wait, is the first and the last one not the same thing?
No, so the bop is like the most fun. Like you're like.
Let's bring up the songs again.
Okay, so the first one, like the best song overall, like as far as the battle went, despite the facts, whatever else, like what do you think like was
I thought Family Matters was really, really good.
Family Matters? You think like that's...
Yeah. I don't know if that's the bop or
most
that's
effective.
Like most effective, but
okay.
That was a great song. Had the disses.
Okay,
I could jam to that, even not listening to the lyrics.
I would say Euphoria was just the layers of it. When I heard it, I was just like, "Whoa, this is this is a lot." Like he went after Drake. People were like, "Oh, it's over right there."
Yeah.
What do you think, Amber?
We're talking about best song. I want to save best bop for push up, so. I would say Family Matters as well.
Okay. Creative. Most creative. I'm saying tailor-made freestyle. I'm one of the only people that was like that was like genuinely thought that was like super just like smart and clever of Drake to do, because there were so many people that were saying like, oh, everything is AI, and then he dropped one in AI with like people that Kendrick respect. It was like so disrespectful.
Yeah.
But in a beef, I was just like, that's creative.
On the pod, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling this, but
yeah, right. I get the creative part of that.
But
I'll latch on to your choice.
I'm gonna say the titling of The Heart Part 6.
No, because he
titling?
copied 616 in LA. It came after that.
What?
He literally, like 616 in LA was Kendrick taking one of Drake's songs and making it that. And then the Hard Part 6 was easy because it's like literally a response.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. So then I guess I'll switch it to 6.
Like, 4 p.m. in Calabasas, 5 a.m. in Toronto. Have you ever heard Drake timestamp records?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but 6
Kendrick did it first in this battle.
It's creative, but let me tell you why the Heart Part 6 is better.
Okay.
Because the last song Kendrick dropped is the Heart Part 5. And so he always has these parts. So now if he
does that white blogger shit, I'm telling you.
If he does the Heart Part 6, right? Drake
That's
might
true.
cover that instead. There's no way Drake is gonna make 616 in LA.
Oh, right. Okay. So you're saying
yeah.
it's strategic.
Yeah. So he did the Hard Part 6. So when Kendrick does it, Drake's gonna be up there with him.
His
Or
name's going to be
his-
associated around.
Yeah. So
It'll drown out some of the.
It's like when they skipped the iPhone 9 and went to the iPhone 10. Kendrick's gonna have to be like the hard, part 7.
But yeah, that's why.
Okay,
That's
okay,
why I
fair,
think that
fair.
title is better.
Okay, best bop,
Push-ups.
push-ups.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think Family Matters also like that. I really like that.
Okay, that's fair. Oh yeah, like that. I totally forgot about
Yeah, yeah.
Like that. Like that is my favorite
People are
out of
going
all of
crazy.
these because I still listen to it. It's
And
genuinely
it's like
an
a friendly
awesome
diss.
song.
It's a friendly diss at that point. And
Yeah, like competitive,
competitive.
not accusatory.
yeah. And so
Yeah. So for right now, I think sometimes it's just like the recency bias. So it's like right now I'm just not like us as such a bop. But yeah, this was fun. Let us know what you guys think. Who ended up winning this thing? Are you guys both? You think Drake won?
I don't know, honestly.
If you had to pick,
I'm not saying Drake won per se. I am. If I had to pick a side, I would.
he's
pick
your
Drake's
father. I mean, we get it.
I don't like the weird like the darkness of Kendrick. I'm not a
They
fan
both
of.
went dark. Let's
No,
be fair.
they did. They definitely did. But I do think that was
Is that a skin tone thing?
what. Shut up. I'm literally tanner than you. But I'm
Yeah,
just.
but you mix.
And so I just feel like I didn't like Kendrick's like dark, twisty and turny energy and all of this. And for me, like that was for why I like it. I liked it lighthearted and stuff.
Okay.
So Drake.
Yeah. I feel like Kendrick did more of what he wanted to do, and that's why Kendrick won. I think Drake just did damage control and didn't like people don't care that Kendrick like beat his wife. They're like, oh, he broke bars, bro. Like, you know, so that's what people reactions were. Literally, he was like, you beat your wife, you suck with your family. And they're like, dude, but Kendrick said this.
Where do you feel like the damage control started in the timeline though?
I guess maybe in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking after Euphoria.
It's also like they're in different, like you have to acknowledge that like Drake, he's way busier. He was doing concerts between, he didn't see this coming. Like if what Kanye says is true, which it seems like it kind of is, that there was a master plan to like take down the guy who's been at the top for the last decade of hip hop, whether you agree with it or not, on the charts and influence and whatever else. It's like Kendrick could literally sit there and he was just like cranking them out, and we don't know what else he's up to, but he could have also been plotting this forever and wanted to kind of like do this.
Yeah.
Obviously, the kind of like animosity has been cooking up for a lot of people for a long time against Drake, and we saw that. So you have to respect the boy. I'm saying, like, I really am impressed with Drake. Mm-hmm. Kendrick, I already kind of like had that expectation of, but I'm very impressed with Drake.
I feel like this challenged Drake to like be a little bit more creative. And I think that because he had been at the top for so long, people love to accuse people of being washed up and like losing their touch or whatever. And I think if anything, he proved to the people that he's definitely not washed up, and he can crank out a banger, and he can like fight back, and he can be
He can hold his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Six. Yeah, tell us who you guys think won in the comments.
We hope you enjoyed our 3 minutes.
30. I'm just kidding.
Well, to be fair, the synopsis was supposed to be a minute. It ended up being 5,
Yeah.
like you said. But this was still relatively short compared to like, we're
Previous.
not DJ academics over here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the rest of this to Patreon. We appreciate everybody for listening to this crazy cooked episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
Talk to you next time.